Welcome back, friends. Welcome back, sir.
Yes,
Second session of ours, and it was going quite interesting that we have discussed the modern aspects of botanical science, and we have told how we can move genetically in evolution, and we have
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
discussed now. Sir,
uh,
my next question to you is
uh,
let us move to the etymology of the Sanskrit name. Because sir,
right,
we know that every name has its own meaning. Every name, because sir, in ancient period there was a no name to people, there was a no name to plants, no names to anything. There was names only for guna, its characters, its qualities, what gun it possessed, what character it possessed. According to them, the nomenclature uh, the name was given to the plant, name, human, or anyone. So, sir, my question to you is, what is the significance and science of etymology in Sanskrit?
right. One, I think I should give two types of answers for your question. First thing, of course, let me accept I am not a Sanskrit scholar. I know I have studied Sanskrit, but I cannot call myself a scholar. Here, if you want to go to the etymology, in the strictest meaning of etymology, for example, there is a word called, you must have heard of Ashtadhyayi work by Panini. You might not have, it is a total Sanskrit grammar at the highest level. And in this highest level, there is Ashtadhyayi, and then the simple versions like Siddhanta Kaumudi, Lagu Siddhanta Kaumudi, these things are there. And there they find out the origin of the words. For origin, it is said in Sanskrit, Vyutpatti, not Utpatti. Vyutpatti is the origin of the words with a root. Not in a botanical or any other man, in a strict Sanskrit form, I will tell you what is etymology origin of the words. There is a final term called Paniniya Praveshika. That means Pravesha or getting into the word works of Pran, whatever it is. Do you know how does that word originate? There are three or four different words. Pananam Panaha. Panaha asmin asti iti pani. Paninaha apatyam puman paninihi. Paniniye praveshika, paniniya praveshika. You understand how many uses that? Pananam, there is the Panam means panaha. Panaha asmin asti iti pani. This man has got pana, that is why he is called Pani. And who is Panini? The male son of Pani is Panini. And what has he done? Praveshika. So, Paniniya Praveshika is Paniniya Praveshika. This is the strictest one. But I have not used this in the terms of nomenclature for plants. There you see, of course, every term should have a root. There is no doubt about it. And then it comes. And did I discover these synonyms and all those things? No, I didn't know. But what I have done is, you see, I have given a botanical veneer, botanical interpretation for these names. And Amarakosha, I am telling you, it is a 5th century AD book written not by a botanist, by an ordinary man. Ordinary man. Ordinary means he is a scholar, but not a botanist. And he wrote this book, it's a lexicon. Lexica, actually some people say lexicon. I say it is lexicon cum therasis. Both are there. It is something unique between the two. It gives the words, gives the meaning also. Whereas in lexicon, only word will be given the first and what is that meaning they will say, not the reverse also. Right? If you have a description, you have to get out. That is the saras. Both are there in this. Here, I studied Vanaushadhi Varga again in a Sanskrit Pathshala. There again, they gave the names. They don't give any meanings or differences. What is it and all. I'm telling you, after I started my research work on that, I'm telling you, I'm writing a separate book on Vanaushadhi Varga itself. Fantastic, I'm telling you. There is a list of 350 plants with their synonyms. 350 names with their synonyms and explanation of the various parts and all those things are there. You know what I have did? Of course, I don't want to say, I want to say I am a pride and all this thing. For the first time, I have given a botanical slant for those synonyms. How we take, suppose there are 5 or 6 names are there for that one. First, I was also confused. Why this confusion? Should there not be one single name for that so plants can be easily identified?
Okay.
Why 4 names, 3 names, and different types of names for this? Then it
And it
occurred to me as a, yes,
and sir, it keep changing.
change. As I went on to it, then it occurred to me our ancestors are not fools like us. Is it clear?
Yes.
They did not have a big book when they went to the forest. Here, as I told you, suppose you go to a doctor, even Ayurvedic nowadays, right? You go show him, he'll prescribe a medicine. Of course, normally, even today, 90% of Ayurvedic doctors they give the prescription. Is it clear? Otherwise, you have to go to a pharmacy. Now, do you know our Ayurvedic doctors at that time were botanists themselves, more efficient botanists themselves, because suppose a person comes with an ailment, they say, wait, you used to go to the forest, identify the plant, collect the material, and give it to them. If he makes a mistake, what will happen? That is why there were different uses in different parts of the country for the same plant. What Amarsimha has done is he has put together, of course, not all the things for plants, only other things are also there. Put synonyms together, and each synonym has an explanation, expansion, fruit.
Okay.
See, I'll tell you one thing. Botany, sorry, Amarkosha was not written by a botanist. It was written by a layman. The terms that he uses that are necessary to be put into Amarkosha, that means they were used common terms. If
Hmm.
botanical knowledge of non-botanist, Amarasima is like that, what should have been the knowledge of botanists themselves at that time?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic, I'm telling you. I will give you examples.
Okay.
At that time, parasites and epiphytes were identified separately. Here nowadays, except for botany students and professors, some plant is growing on some plant.
Hmm.
There, ordinary people have said that now. Do you know what is the name for a parasite and what is the name for it? Vrikshadani is for parasite. Vriksharuha is for epiphyte. Do you know what is the meaning? What a parasite does to the host, it will kill.
Hmm.
Will the epiphyte kill the host? No.
No.
No. Because it has got its own green leaves. It goes to the host only for support. Whereas parasite goes to kill the plant because nutrition it has to say. Do you know what is the name for a parasite? Vrikshadani. And what is the name for epiphyte? Vriksharuha. Again go to etymology. What is Vrikshadani? Janma Vrikshamapi Hanti iti Vrikshadani. That which kills the tree of origin is parasite. Right?
Okay.
Vrikshe rohati vriksharuha. That which simply climbs over a tree. That is an epiphyte. How beautiful the knowledge is there now. And then, of course, I don't want to go into detail. Maybe you are interested in other questions also for etymology. I will give you examples like this. I identified in my book a research project in Indian National Science Foundation. For all the 350 plant names, there are about 900 or more than that synonyms.
Okay.
More for each name, and I have analyzed each one of the synonyms etymologically, and I have brought out the botanical meaning for that. For all the 900 synonyms in Vanaushadhi Varga, now I am in the process of obtaining photographs of all those plants also. I will give you just 2 or 3 examples, not many.
Yes.
People tree have heard, people tree, where people sit and take, and it was the village court also one time. Do you know what are the names for that? Bodhi, Drumas, Chaladalaha, Pippala, Kunjara, Shanaha, Ashwatha. These are the names for the people tree. What is the name? Bodhi Druma. Bodhisattva used to rest under the tree. Bodhi
Hmm.
Druma. Chaladala. This you will definitely appreciate. What is Chaladala? If there is a breeze, leaves will oscillate. What is so great about it? If you have not observed properly, today you go and observe. Whenever there is a breeze, how the other leaves will oscillate, and whenever there is even a mild breeze, how the People tree leaflets will oscillate. A botanical reason also is given. Do you know what does he say? Prodidruma. Chaladala. तनु वृंतत्वात् घनपत्रत्वात् स्वल्पैपि वातमपि चलति इति चरदलः. And that means, you see, the leaves will not go up. The lamina always hangs down, oscillates, and the petiole is very thin. And when the petiole is very thin, this is a broad space offered to the air, they oscillate. And that you check once again, the oscillation of other leaves is different. This is in a wavy motion, in a very much, not other plants. See how beautifully they had studied up to that level. Chaladala means Tanu Vrintatvat, thin petiole, Ghanapatratvat, thick petiole, thick lamina. Swalpaipi Vatava, even for a mild breeze, Chalati iti Chaladala. From a distance you can make out. Bodhidrumas Chaladala, Pippalaha, Rishi Pippala was taking rest under that Pippala. Punjarashanaha, it used to be fed for elephants. Last, Ashwatha. Whenever there is an Ashwatha Katta outside the village, people, travelers used to travel either by walk or by horseback. When they come by horseback, the horses need a rest, so they are tied around the tree. That is why it is called Ashwatha. Right?
Okay.
And I will explain only one more, even though I have got all the 300. One more.
Actually, sir, I just wanted to share something to you from the Ashwatha that you told. And sir, actually, we have a stotram, Ashwatha stotram, separate in Brahmanda Puran. Am I audible to? And sir, in our botany fest, sir, we have get that Ashwatha stotra, and we have an audio recording of Ashwatha stotra with a melodious voice, with a sporty voice, sir. So, so we can aware people about that. And sir, it has a very beautiful shloka, the 16th shloka, which states like that: Mulato Brahma Rupaya, Madhyato
Vishnu Rupa,
Agrata
Agrata Shiva Rupa.
Vriksharajayate
Namaha. And do you know it is not for? I'm sorry, you have finished.
Nice, sir.
And it is not for nothing our people used to praise that plant. Do you know it helps in maintaining the ozone layer? That one and Tulsi, both of them. That is the character attribute to them. I'll tell you, I will give one more plant is etymological analysis you give.
Yes, sir.
In the etymological analysis, they go for ecological associations, growth region, botanical character, social character, all these things are mentioned. This country fig, that is Ficus glaberata. Is it clear? First I told you about this one. Here, what are the names for? The name is Audumbara in Sanskrit for country fig. What are the Audumbare, Jantuphalo, Yajnango, Hemadugdakaha. These are the names for Audumbara. Now, what is the meaning of Audumbara? Etymology. Ullangita ambara iti Audumbaraha. What bark, what is it? Cloth coming out of a tree? No cloth, it is bark peeling out of a tree. Right? Audumbara. Audumbare, Jantupalo, cut the fruit, you will get small flies there. Jantupala. Yajnanga, the twiglets were used for sacrificial rites. And the last character, truly a botanical character is Hamsakshiri. Right? Hamsakshiri, I'm sorry, not Hamsakshiri. It is Kanchanakshiri or Hemadugdakaha. Hemadugdaka means when you break open, a latex will come out, not a completely white latex, golden colored latex. Hemadugdakaha. You can check that character. Hemadugdakaha. Audumbare, Jantuphalo, Yajnango, Hemadugdaka. In other instance, they mention the same thing. They say it is Kanchanakshiri. What is Kanchana? Gold. Kanchanakshiri, gold colored latex comes out. And this Audumbara tree has a special significance also. Modern ecologists have done some research and they have called it as a source tree. Do you know why? During summer, when no green leaves are available, no fruits are available, nothing is there, the one that sustains all the fauna and birds is this country fig tree, Ficus glabrata. That is why it is called a source tree. All recent researches have been made by Godgill and all those things. They say this is a source tree. And do you know, Amarakosha later they had already mentioned. Do you know what they have said? Audumbara sada phale. It always gives fruits. Do you want anything more than this? I can go on giving about Amarakosha some more of this. I think for want of time I will stop it.
Sir, so sir, we can,
Next question.
yes, sir. So we can say a simple shloka can explain the properties and characters of the plant, isn't it?
Yes, not all of them. Let us not be over avaricious. But a reasonably good identification. That means they had studied the plants. See, even for rishis, it was necessary. Because do you know there were rishis who used to eat once in a day, who used to, once in 40 days. Then what kind of course, that will go to a different discussion about Soma plant. I don't want to
Please,
get into
please, sir.
that one. Get into that because it will be whole Ramayana if I talk about Mahabharata. So they knew what plant had got what amount of nutrition. That is why they can sustain for 40 days or 10 days, 15 days.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So for that, sir,
I
we
will say,
can come,
yes.
sir. So, sir,
Uh,
for that can come with another episode of you, sir, especially based on Ramayana and Mahabharata, Epika, sir, so that we can have vast knowledge of yours, and we can. So, sir, I think we should move to the next question.
no. You have a question from audience or from you? Because I want to complete two more things. The latest work what I have done. That also I will be very brief. I don't go into details. But that is what gives a satisfaction that modern work is possible with ancient plant. Now, if there are one more question, you please ask. There's no problem for me.
Sir, my question was next question was that only. Sir, what is your latest research work that you
Latest one. How much time you give me? I don't want to take too much time. 10 minutes. One more is there.
actually, sir, take how much time you want it, sir, actually,
Thank you.
because
Thank you so much.
no, sir, actually, I am not willing to get out of it, and I'm just wanted to I just wanted to hear you, sir. Just say, sir.
Right. Right.
We are
This
just
is
listening.
uh, this is one totally complete original work I have done.
Sir.
And one more is adding or giving a new interpretation. First one is, you see, I want to analyze the origin of systematic botany in India at least 1,500 years earlier than the Westerners, not one or two, 1.5 millennium. And the second one, it's not purely botany, it is about botanical evidence I have given for the very first time to prove that Aryans did not migrate from anywhere. These two things I will tell briefly.
Yes,
Study of botany in the West, I will tell about the West first, what they were doing, and then I will give comparison. Theophrastus was called the father of botany. He lived around 300 BC. How they were classifying plants? Very easy. Shrubs, climbers, herbs, and trees. They used to classify. But many a time there were confusion because if they try to put it into one, another will come up. Because one will be a climber in the beginning and then it starts growing straight. Where they should be put? It was completely under confusion, and that is how they were trying to give different explanation and everything. And finally, this is 300 BC, no botanical knowledge. Gradually it developed, and finally, comparison of vegetative parts for the purpose of identification and grouping, they realized it is useless. Then Carl von Linnaeus in 17th century, he came with a proposal, sexual system of classification of plants, where he said a particular plant, irrespective whether it is a climber or a small herb or a prostrate herb or a huge gigantic tree, don't bother about any of the vegetative characters because the vegetative characters do not continue from generation to generation. It is a reproductive part that form a link between one generation and another generation. So he said that reproductive parts or the sexual reproductive parts should be the basis for the categorization of the plants, right? And first, of course, he took into consideration the number of stamens. Stamen also a reproductive character, male reproductive character. First it started as monandria, diandria, triandria. That means one stamens plant, two stamens, three stamens. Finally, is that, and after the complete refinement, of course, the modern binomial nomenclature and all those things have come into existence. Is it clear? This is the modern classification. Even today, they say, who is the father of botany? They say Linnaeus. Once I'm telling you, a joke happened. For the first time, of course, I don't want to go into Parashara's details. It will take too much of time. That is in 1981. I have attended since 1981 almost all International Botanical Congress held once in 6 years. The latest was in Austria. I attended there also. Whenever I go to a botanical conference, I go there purposely because if I give a botany lecture to geology students, history students, they will appreciate the language and they clap and they go. But I must carry coal to the mine. Normally they say you cannot carry coal to the mine. Here I want to carry because there I want to show that we also have done much more, not equivalent to this, and I want certificate from them because they are specialists. For example, when I give a lecture in taxonomy, I just don't go to botanists, I just don't go to angiosperm specialists, I go to only systematic taxonomy because they who know the intricacies of all those things. I gave a lecture. There I gave a lecture. That particular thing is different. It is about the cell structure that will become a totally different discussion. Is it clear? There, they included my name in ethnobotany. I said, do you think there is a separate botany for India? Or do you think the rose grows in a different way? See, if it comes from Western, it is universal botany. If something I do in India, it is ethnobotany. Is it limited to only geographical region? Is it that plants produce leaves only in India? They produce something else there? So include my name in history of botany, not ethnobotany. But when I give a talk, you tear it to pieces if it is not correct. There I presented a paper. Of course, since then I am presenting two papers, one on modern science, one on this one. There I talked about plant cell. When I talked about the plant cell and showed with evidences that Patre Rasakoshaha Aparis, this is of Parashara. I will just mention only this. Patre Rasakoshaha Aparisankheyaha Santi. Te dve kalaveshtitena. Te ranchakayukta. Te kalayuktena. Te anavaha. This is the description given to the plant cell I mentioned. There was what should I say? Huge hue and cry. Some person coming from an underdeveloped country talking of plant cell being discovered in 1st century BC, whereas it was just discovered by Robert Hooke in 16th century. All that is nonsense. What is the evidence? What is the proof that you give? Then one person, New Zealand professor lady, asked me sarcastically, why you have left a microscope? Include that also. Say that Indians knew microscope also. Their problem is solved in a sarcastic manner because you cannot see cell without a microscope. Then, if it were to be a falsehood, then I should have bowed my head. I knew this question would be asked. I had done my homework. They said that. I told them, suppose you look out here. There are bacteria. Do you agree or not? They said, we agree. You are not seeing, how are you agree? Because you have a means of magnification to see the unseen made possible to see. I agree. It is a microscope or something is necessary, but I don't venture to say, I don't want to claim too much. Maybe a little later, I said, maybe a little later, right? He had a means of magnification. Where is the proof? I said, the proof is in the verse itself. What is the proof? He says everything. Patre rasakoshaha aparisankheyaha santi te dve kalaveshtitena te ranjakayukta te rasashrayascha te anavaha. What is the last word? Read the last word, I said. The last word says they are not visible to naked eye. Now, if they are not visible to naked eye, something not visible is non-existent. If something invisible to naked eye less than 0.2 millimeter, if there is something to magnify, you will see that. If Parashara has described all these things, right, he must have had some means of magnification. Otherwise, the very word will not arise. When do you say I can't say? When you have eyes. When eyes you cannot. Otherwise, you just don't say anything about your eyes at all. And after all, I said, what is the proof? Do you know what is the proof again? Ayurveda had developed very well at that time. Do you know in the Rasabhutas in the human body, they had mentioned three types of particles. See, one is Sthula, another is Sukshma, another is Anava. These three sizes they had identified. Anava is there. And very clearly, Charaka says that in the blood, he was looking at he was thinking he was looking at the RBC corpuscles, but some other organisms he saw there, very tiny. But still he also says, Te Anavaha. What proof do you want? I said. After all, if it is a hoax, let us accept it is a hoax. Let us say, I know botany. I can write on this. If I can write on that, why stop at description? I could have told nucleus is there. I could have told chromosomes are there. I could have told plastids are there. Why I did not do all those things? He is truthful. So you have to accept it. So in this way, once I gave a lecture in Plant Taxonomist Association, is it clear? Pre-Linnaean thoughts of sexual reproduction in classification. At that time, do you know sexual reproduction, and that is the basis, was first discovered in 300 BC. I give evidence, 300 BC. And when is this one? 1700. 1700 into 300 you calculate. At a time when Theophrastus was living, 2000 years. 2000 years early. At that time when Theophrastus, the father of botany, was classifying plants into herbs, shrubs and trees. Now, how this comes? Research are of two types. I'm sorry, three types. According to me, when you are working in this is the classification given by me, not by anybody else. One is translational research. What is translational research? You look straight forward, putting a blinker, not look to the right, not look to the right, straight. There, you say that with one kind of research, whatever matter is there, you study it, translation it, give the meaning. You don't have an interpretation, no imagination, nothing is there. So that is translational research. Second is interpreting. You interpret. It may suggest this, it may suggest that. But you know, every item has multiple interpretations, not one. At that interpretation only, it stopped. Not multiple. Again, these are my own classification. I am going to write this one. And the third one is synthetic research. Do you know what is synthetic research? If you see then and translation, your contribution is translator, not a scientist. If you see that this gives something, you are a scientist, but you don't have a total panoramic view of finding something else also. In a synthetic research, what you do is you collect this, collect that, collect this one, find out the meaning, and then different spots you get in different generations. All these different spots, is it clear? You connect with lines. Spots and threads is the kind of research that I have done for this one. I will tell you how. Charaka Samhita is an Ayurvedic book, right? It is about Dravya Guna, characters. There, they include Shami Varga and they say, and they give all the pulses names there. Right now, I will describe here. Shami is a very sacred Vedic plant, right? It has got several names. It is used in religious ceremonies even now also. It has got so many names. One is Shami, Simba, Saktupala, Shiva, or Agnigarbha. All these are the names for this Shami plant. Now, what is the meaning? Shami, Shamayate, iti Shamihi, Shami. It excuses everything, invites everybody, Shami, right? Simba, it produces a fruit called Simbiphala. This Simbiphala is like a flat belt. See, in the village, when people, particularly ladies, carry water vessels, they just don't keep it on the bed. There is a support. And if you see a long legume fruit, you know that also twists in a rounded manner. That is why it is called Simbiphala. So the one produces that Simbiphala is Simba. Same as Shami. Saktuphala, the fruit it gives is sweet, Saktuphala. Shiva means Mangala, right? And Agnigarbha, Agnivarmint, it carries fire inside. This last name I will take first before we go to the classification. Agni-garbha is there, right? Agni-garbha is fire inside or Vaishwanara inside. It is a mythological story when Pandavas had to go for Ajnatavasa. You know that.
mm,
You can follow that? When Pandavas went for Ajnatavasa after having lost whatever Dyuta or whatever it is it clear? When they went, Ajnatavasa they went, they wanted to hire the armaments because the one condition was they must not carry all the armaments. So the
mm,
first tree they thought was the abode of Vaishwanara. Abode of Vaishwanara is the Shami. So they requested Shami Deva, till we come back, please protect our forest. This is their request to Vaishwanara. Now, if I tell this, you say it is a foolish suggestion of you, it's a foolish imagination of you. Do you know, I'm not joking. In one, my friend was there, he was doing research on social forestry. He wanted to plant only those trees which grow very, very quickly, and this tree also he had taken. That is Shami tree, and Albizia is another one. And he was asking me which tree is better. There was a chance for me to test the hypothesis, right? What is this one? And he was also trying to find out the calorie value of each gram of the tree to show which one is good for cooking or fuel. Is it clear? At that time, I told him, why don't you try this tree, this Shami tree? I am not joking. Experimental confirmation. It is called a bomb calorimeter. The bomb calorimeter showed per gram heat is much more than many other trees. That, of course, I don't say Pandavas understood. That is why they called it Agnigarbha. And since I don't want to give name, they say Vaishwanara is there. Do you call the whole thing foolishness? Let us move back to our original this one. So this Simbi tree was there. And first when I was trying this one, Kautilya Arthashastra, do you know in Kautilya Arthashastra is not just a treatise of politics. It is not just a treatise of economy. It consists of everything, including botany. Shortly, I am going to take up a project on botany in Kautilya Arthashastra. I am going to write all those things. There you see something totally unconnected with plants. There is a chapter. Do you know what is that chapter? That chapter is Tulamana Pautavadhyaya. What is Tulamana Pautavadhyaya? Legal metrology department. And in legal metrology, what business these plants and seeds are to grow? You know, even now, gold and other precious metals, they are sold in characters of in the weight of some seeds. They take seeds, this Gulganji seed or Abrus precatorius, and say one Gunji weight of this one is this one. Is it clear? And for that, they say Simba. Simba is this one. Acacia ferruginea, Shami tree. Is it clear? Now, if they were to directly mention that Abrus precatorius, is it clear? Or if Simba were to represent only the seeds of the tree, there is nothing great about it. But the Simba refers to the seeds of so many other trees which are similar to Shami.
yes, sir.
And again, another example is there. For example, in Charaka Samhita, it is called Shami Varga. Do you know what are the plants included in Shami Varga? Not Shami seeds. Included is horse gram, green gram, all these things. Now my question is, this horse gram plant or beans plant and all those things, they are small plants, annuals, about 5 to 6 inches crop. Whereas this is a wild tree. What is common between a wild tree and plants that grow as small thing? Are they common in size? Not both of them are trees. Are they common in the leaf? Are they common in anything? They are common only in the flower and fruit stage. That means this area of comparison is only flower and fruit. This is what it is said in in Charaka Samhita. There you see, even then I was not satisfied because I tell you, synthetic research is the one which I have told you. It collects interpretations from everything. Collect as many sources as possible. Is it clear? And put the dots. Whenever you find a source, put a dot and see whether you can draw a line. So, like for example, the Shami term was there in all the plants. Is it clear? But it was understood per se only as a Shami. not anything else. See, actually, many a time our brain also does not work sharp because Charaka classifying all the pulses into Shami Varga was there. I thought it is just a dietetic classification of Charaka, nothing more than that. And then in Parashara's Vriksha Ayurveda clearly mentions, he describes the families, describes the fruits. I will just give you one verse. Shamit Tunda Mandala Vishama Vidala Smrita Panchamuktaka Dalaischaiva Yukta Jalaka Karnitaihi Dasabih Kesharair Vidya Simbi Pushpasya Mandali Shimi Simbi Phalagneya Parshva Bija Bhavechasa. Whole of taxonomy is here. Shamit Tunda Mandala, ovary is superior. Vishama Vidala Smrita, Kerala is of different sizes. Yukta Jalaka Karnitehi, Sympetals, similar calyx. And these are the things, and Shan Mukta Kesaran with Dashabih Kesarair Vidyat, 10 free stamen. And then Shami Simbi Palagneya. In Shami, the fruit is Shimbi tree. Parshva Bija Bhavechasa. See the button character. See, in a siliqua, it opens from tip to the bottom. Whereas in a Parshva Bija, if you have any doubt, go to home, cut the bean and see. The seeds are attached to one side. Parshva Bija Bhavechasa. This is the botanical discovery that Parashara had made. And just aside, when I went to Sydney, once again I am telling you, then somebody said, then do you say Parashara is father of Indian botany? I said, no. No, why? You yourself explained. I said, Parashara is father of botany, not Indian botany, I said. He is the father of entire world's botany, not. People were stunned first. Why did I say he is not father of botany? Because I said, if he has written only about Indian botany, but this botany is universal. That is why it should be included in the history of botany. So then again, I am telling you another fantastic evidence, because I have almost completed. I am in the process of writing a paper. So first I told you about Kautilya Arthashastra, 300 BC. And Parashara's Vriksha Ayurveda, 1st century, and then Charaka Samhita, all the includes pulses. And then in Amarakosha, to prove that similarity is not based on the habit. You may doubt, all these plants could be somewhat similar in habit. There you see, he describes one more plant in Vanaushadhi Varga. Amara. Aragvadho Rajavriksha Shamyakas Chaturangulaha. He describes the plant, that is cassia plant. Aragvada, if you grow that plant, some odd in the names there, it is helpful to kill the enemy or protects your enemy. Aragvada, Rajavriksha, plant that grows only in the gardens of king. Aragvada, Rajavriksha, Shamyaka, it is like Shami. Chaturangulaha, 4 fingers long fruit. In all these, I checked. See, after all, Shami is also a tree. Cassia fistula is also a tree. You could have compared vegetative parts and said they are similar. And do you know what a fantastic luck was waiting for me? And when I checked the commentaries, for example, what is what is that plant? What is Aragvada? What is then one word is Aragvado Rajavriksha Shamyakas Chaturangala. What is Shamyaka? Shamyaka means Shamivat Shamyaka. Shami also is a tree. And this cassia is also a tree. You could have compared the trees. Then you do know what it says? Simbi Phalatvat Shamyakaha. Because of the fruit nature, it is like Shami. Do you need any more example? He is not comparing vegetative parts. He is comparing which one? Only the floral parts, only the fruit parts, right? And again, one more evidence I got in Amarakosha. There is a Varga called Vaishya Varga. There, without any doubt, he says, Masha Dhaya Shamidhanyaha. Masha means all grams. Masha and others, they are called Shamidhanya. That means Shami is the basic tree, and using this Shami as a comparison. See, in the olden days, what they used to do, see, they used to have a central comparison point and then say it is like Shami, unlike Shami, somewhat like Shami. This is what they were using. Now, as I told you, I have identified these spots, right? Kautilya Arthashastra, Parashara Vriksha Ayurveda, Charaka Samhita, Amarakosha, Brihat Samhita, all these are selected points. If I were to be in a hurry, I could have said, these represent all these things. I did not stop it. I did a synthetic research. I connected them by lines. What is the
Yes,
comparison? Made it into a single whole. When a question is then, all these can be given examples. Now, ultimately, I'm telling you, perhaps I could have just stopped at that one and say, these are the things. But I also took it to another point because do you know these works they are spread over 1 millennium, 1,000 years? Because first from third century BC, some people say it is beyond third century BC, third century BC to 17th century. Is it clear? It has survived. Is it clear? And very clearly we can understand that sexual system of reproduction is there. It has been the basis for all the plants. Now, having said this, I don't say Linnaeus copied from Parashara or somebody. I don't believe in that. And I also don't say Parashara did not write this at all. After all, you see, knowledge is universal. There is nothing like a Hindu knowledge or Christian knowledge or Pakistan knowledge or American knowledge. Knowledge is knowledge. And independently, because genotype, knowledge can arise in the original form in different areas at different times. For example, when Mendel discovered, right, 38 years afterwards, Sharmark, De Vries, they found out. Did they say ours is original? A giant was already there. Likewise, knowledge is a continuum,
yes,
right? And I am now collecting some more evidence that now this one I emphasize because you see, it is not just 1 or 2 years. That means if it is just only mentioned in one, I could have called it a flash in the pan. But here, continuously the same thing is there for 1,000 years. That means from generation to generation it has been followed. Now this knowledge of classification of 3rd century BC of Kautilya, don't think it started with 3rd century. Is it clear? Now, for a serious information on science, if it were to come to an ordinary book, how much ordinary it would have been to allow you to weigh the gold under other precious metals. That means if it comes to a community level, its origin is much early. So much earlier than the 3rd century BC, they had done it. And to show that, I will just say only one shloka and then I will stop. Maybe I think Aryan migration, it might take some more time. I can stop at that, I think. In some other seminar, I will mention. If time permits, I have no issue. Otherwise, I will do it. And how did botanical study start? This shloka is there. Vane chaitra rathe ramye sameta punya karmanaha bharadvaja daya sarve yechanye manishuttamaha jnatumicchantah paprachuho parasharam maharshayah prishtena munibhis sarvaih parasharo bravit tatah atharvangam pravakshami brahmoktam vriksha. This is how 700 BC there is a medicinal plant symposium chaired by Bharadwaja. In English, it is so simple. Under the chairmanship of Bharadwaja, all the rishis requested sage Parashara to let them know about the plants, and thus requested by them. Parashara said, I am going to reveal to you Vriksha Ayurveda, which is given to me by Brahma. It is not my own. Look at the self-effacing attitude of our rishis. Because
yes,
once one person asked me, you are talking of Parashara. Is he Parashara first or second? When did he leave? Then do you know what I told him? If Parashara were to be alive at that time, that such a person would ask me this question, he would have mentioned his horoscope and the star, birth time, path, everything. He is not bothered about. He is ascetic. All that he wants is, you see, distribution of knowledge. That is why Parashara studies botany. What does he say? Atharvangam pravakshami brahmoktam vriksha. It is not mine, he says. That is the philosophy of ancient Indians. Now, I leave it to you whether to continue for some more time for this or on some other occasion. I don't mind talking about it.
no,
Some other occasion,
no,
some other summit. Huh?
no, no, no,
Hello?
not some other seminar, sir. We are ending up our first season with you, and sir, I would like to start our second season with you only.
So you want me to talk about this
Uh,
Aryan migration theory?
Actually, sir, we will continue iron migration theory in another topic, and we will just take last two questions,
Hmm.
and
Sure.
I'll be just cleaning up these two questions. So, So, sir,
Hmm.
this new discoveries you are
Some
doing.
some voice break is there.
Okay, okay. So,
Huh.
sir, these are
Huh.
new discoveries you are doing, and various secrets of Indian literature you are revealing, and you are doing synthetic research on the all the aspects of botany. Either it is a ancient Indian and modern science. So, sir, my question is to you: is, would this be introduced as a new subject in our curriculum?
Yes, it should be
Can we
introduced,
have?
but not cock and bull story should be there. It should be completely 100% vetted. Because tomorrow I don't want to say, some people might say you are taking the interplanetary voyage 7,000 years ago. Stupid. See, many a I mentioned botany or ancient Indian knowledge system or science is harmed by two sets of people. One is snobs and fanatics. Snobs say there is nothing here. Fanatics say everything was already there. Oh, you are raising missiles. Oh, we already knew about Brahmastra. That is all stupid. Many a time, honestly, I'm telling you, the supporter will cause you more danger. I think you're a botany student, you know very well. When Darwin proposed his theory, there was a big fight between proponents and opponents. Just like it is said that survival of the fittest. It created lots of commotion for Darwin to say, I never said survival of the fittest, survival of the fit. So the people in their enthusiasm, they wanted support, survival of the fittest. So that is why proponents also harm your cause more than fanatics, more
Yes, sir.
than snobs. So
Yes, sir.
pure simple work can be done even there. I'm telling you, the material and facts that I presented are the ones that are being presented all over the globe for the past 45 years. It has to be
Okay.
done because our people, our youngsters, they should know. Now, what happens, once it happened so, I was in the PUC syllabus board. There they said history of biology, they had mentioned Aristotle and Plato. Then I told him, if your students do not want to learn history, remove those names. No need to include it. If you say that Aristotle and Plato, what our students will think? At that time, Indians were eating grasses. Scientists were there at that time. I said, authentic information I am going to provide you. I don't claim copyright. Include it. They did not. Oh, you know because you have done research. Yes, I have done. I am giving it to you free. Take it. They did not do it. What to do?
Yes, sir.
We need not blame outsiders. Deterioration begins here.
Yes, sir. That's the harsh reality of today's society, sir. And but sir, we will do our best, sir. And sir, hello, sir. Uh,
Yes, please,
I'm.
please.
I was saying that we will do our best, sir, and we will aware this now, aware our student, aware the public about this ancient knowledge. And sir, there is a comment that rather than separate subject, this need to be included in history of botany in general.
Yes,
Study
in
the work
general,
of others.
correct. Correct. I will have an example. It's just like a joke I'm telling you. Many people used to say, as you grow old, you get into vanaprastha ashrama, old. Not anything. They say, after you have finished everything, you don't have anything, then do research in ancient Indian history. I had a actual example. The first seminar I attended was in 1977, much
Hmm.
before all of you were born. At that time, I had to travel from Bangalore to Delhi. When the aircraft landed in Delhi, there was a dusk. Darkness was there. So, in order to greet the people, all of them they came with placards with the name. Dr. S. Sundar Rajan, professor, they had written. Since it was dark, they went right in front of me and they just did not even look at me. Then I saw the board. I said, I am Sundar Rajan here. He was disappointed. Oh, are you Sundar Rajan? I expected someone older, he said. That means this research has to be done only when you are old. Of course, I am old now, but I started it when I was very young.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. And this is what
But
you came about, and this is what you bring. This is what you bring to us, sir. You brought to us, and we are really very happy, sir. And moving towards the one last question, sir. What
please,
is the what is the need of an hour with respect to your studies, and what is the message you wanted to share with our young minds?
uh, share with young minds. Is that
Yes, sir.
what is the? Please repeat. What is the?
What is your
What?
message to young
Yeah.
minds?
What is my message to young people? One, is this the hour of the is this the need of the hour? That means what is
Yes.
required for the present. Fine. See, it's not like listening to some pravachana by a rishi, or I'm not insulting rishi, all those things. Here, love the voice or dislike the voice and go back. The question is, what is in it for me? What is the take home point in this? It is necessary. Don't think our ancient rishis or anything, they never used to say do this, that, and all they used to give. You know, even at the end of studying Ramayana, even at the end of studying Mahabharata, they say Phalashruti. I think you must have heard of it. What is Phalashruti? Our ancestors also, it is not that they were not bothered. What do you get? Don't you know, they say, for example, while reading Ramayana Mahabharata, if you read this completely, it is as if you have donated or given a gift of so much of gold and all those things. Here also, what is in it for us? Honestly, I tell you, first, frankly, I'm telling you, they must take it as a frankness from my side. Don't take it as a full-time career. You might wonder why I am telling. Because see, for me, old man, my career is over. But youngsters, they have to have a career simply for the reason this is not included there. This expertise is not needed anyway. And what an unfortunate thing, You know what is the history of USA? 500 years. 500 years. What is the history of us? 10,000 years. And every university has got a department of history there. Show me one government department in government university having this history of science here. Then how will you develop love towards your country? How will you develop
Yes.
love towards country? When once you go back to the names you go back are only Western names. And what about Indian names? They are fit only for eating. So develop an interest, right? Take a career. And if you want to become an entrepreneur, I will tell you that also. Entrepreneur. Of course, I did not deal it in detail with Parashara's. Sorry. Uh, oh, what is that book? Brihad Samhita, right? Do you know there is a chapter called Gandhayukti? Gandhayukti, all producing different types of fragrances and all these sprays. Do you know there is a method? They have given 53 types of plants. You will be surprised. They say this has to be purified with the juice of this. That has to be mixed with this. One part for 20 parts, one part for 40 parts, and 80 times purification. This kind of a fragrance will be there. Cannot somebody take it up this one? Is it not something that is job oriented? I will tell you one more thing also. Early in the morning, what you do, you search for your tongue cleaner. Is it clear? Search for your toothpaste and search for your toothbrush, toothpaste, and everything. Do you know there is a chapter in Brihad Samhita which lists 53 plants. And I have identified all the plants to the modern botanical name. All the 53 plants, and in Amarkosha, all the 350 plants. Here, they say, of course, I was born in a village. I know villagers, they never use toothbrushes. There used to be from Jatropha species, I know, is it clear? They used to break their twigs. Not milky latex, white watery latex would come, right? They used to chew that twig with their teeth. It becomes like a brush, and then just feed it. It is brush and paste two in one.
Yes.
Don't you think somebody can cultivate these plants? Make packets of them, packets of 50 or 100, supply it to the markets, put a date, of course. They cannot be kept for a longer time with an expiry date. Nobody has attempted this one.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, don't think there is no applied aspect at all. We are not looking at the applied aspect. If you are blind towards that one, see everything, as I say, we put on a blanket. What is ancient India? Superstition. What did Britishers do? They are great people. They provided railways for us. All this nonsense we are having. Even to this day, I am telling you, a serious history of science subject with full of sense. It must be vetted. Actually, my own suggestion is, you see, at the all India level, a seminar has to be called for this. Invite both the opponents and proponents. Give chance to opponents to talk first, to deride, to say useless, nonsense, everything. Then give proponents to talk first. It should be arranged, and only then, once and for all, it will be stopped. I had given one reply to Dilip Padgaonkar, you must have heard of his name. He was the former editor-in-chief of Times of India. Sarcastically, he said, "Oh, Indians, you say you have done this, you have done that, you have done that. You do one thing, is it clear? We have not done this, you give a list. That means everything else other than this two or three, we have done it. That is in a sarcasm that
Hmm.
we have done everything. And he said, ultimately, he said, one, just give me one discovery original to Indians. I will bow my head. I wrote to him, why one? I will give you 50 evidences authenticated by any country, any scientist in the world. Don't. I will do it. He did not reply to my Twitter. I think I have taken. Any questions from students? Audience rather.
Actually, sir, we will be right back again after a short break, and then we will
One more
continue
break.
one more break
Let
because
you,
uh, I think
uh,
this after this break we will be having some question answer session if audience has any.
question. Okay,
Then,
question and answers I will answer. I hope there is no need for once again going for a talk of 15, 20 minutes that
no,
Aryan theory. That's sometime
no,
later I will give. Anyway,
yes, sir.
it's not a direct appendage of this holistic subject. Sure.
Yes, sir.
What will be the
Maybe
break?
just 1 minute, sir. One or two.
Okay, right,
We'll
fine.
be
Let them formulate the questions. Sure.
two parts. Now we are going to third part, and if there are some questions of
Yes,
from
please.
audience,
Ah,
if there are some questions from audience, then they can ask, and if no, then we will move toward the vote of the thank vote of thanks. If there are questions, please ask. Okay, I think. So, sir, you have discussed and you have shared a valuable information with us, and you have given a numerous ideas, numerous innovations that can be bring into reality. So, I depend on student and the viewers who have listened to this, and we will be putting this also on our YouTube channel, and so uh, our viewers can also the persons and the participants who have not watched us yet can watch us later.
sure. And you can give them my mail ID and other things. They can contact me or any of those things.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, if you want to
Ah,
ask, if you have to contact Dr. Sundar Rajan personally, then you can also contact. We will be sharing his email ID and phone number to you, and you can ask.
sure.
And please, actually, sir, you have done a literally very vast work, and this cannot be completed in 1 or 2 hours. It will need a very
Right.
much time. But still, sir, we
Right.
will be organizing another talk show uh, with
Okay.
you.
Okay. I will come. Hmm.
Uh, there we will discuss only three things: so the iron migration theory, the Ramayana, and the Mahabharata, and the sales structure in Vedas. It is a separate topic. So, sir, now I'm thinking to have a different lecture series with you, sir. We are completing like a one by one topic of your research.
Ah,
Anyway, it was a great experience with you, sir. You have shared a great experience and your researches. So, friends, we have reached the end of this talk, and also the journey we started 2.5 months ago by completing 8 successful talks today. Thank you, sir, for sharing such valuable experiences with our viewers, and we are very grateful for your sparing
oh,
for time. I know you are through busy schedule, and we have postponed our show. We have very postponed our show. Then I'm very grateful to you for coming live us
thank you.
today and letting
Uh,
everyone.
uh, thank you. Are you going to put this on YouTube?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Fine. It is my great pleasure also to have got a good friend like you. Right. And we have similar likes and dislikes like me. And definitely, you are very young. If you mind, you can definitely bring a bridge between both modern and ancient subject. Thank you so much. And thank you for your audience also. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
So, given water thanks, I would like to again thank Dr. Sundara Rajan for coming to our show. And I'm also thankful to our viewers who tune every Sunday, eagerly waiting for the new things to be learned and new experience to be gained. The success of program can be attributed to the various people and organizations that are behind us. And we would like to thank Waghai Botanical Garden and Garden Superintendent and DCF of South Dang, Mr. Dinesh Rabari sir, along with our most beloved Dr. Padmanabhi Nagar sir. Friends, although I am the face of the program, but there is an entire team effort that goes into making the questionnaire, posters, quiz, videos, photo hunt, and lot more. I would like to thank the team members also for their daily works and additionally volunteering in this Botany Fest. So I would like to thank Mr. Joel Arya, Khyati Agrawal, Vivek Chauhan for their continuous efforts in making our program success. And also, I would like to appreciate the enthusiastic work done by Rutvika Kahar in Phyto Hunt for Karnataka. All the Phyto Hunt, she has organized all the Phyto Hunt for Karnataka. She has done all the necessary things. So I would like to thank her again. And there are also many other green entrepreneurs who work very enthusiastically with for Botany Fest, and I'm grateful to them as well as their support. And at last but not least, I would like to thank Ms. Tuti Shah for his immense support to the show. So, friends, if you like the kind of work we are doing, follow our page to know more about our activities. Also, share these videos and our activities to your friends, teachers, and colleagues, students. There are lots of many games. There are many games, many fun activities that we conduct, and participating with friends is always merrier. Ask them to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, and YouTube. We are nearly all over available on these all platforms. We will be available on Blogspot soon. Then, sir, friends, we have started the phase two registrations for green entrepreneurs. So please don't miss this opportunity to be with us. Join us to have fun and weekly activities, which increases your knowledge base along with being completely with line in your professional interest. You can find the link in our profile bio, so you can get redirected to the Google form. And friends, we are not ending a fear. Though it is a fight season finale of season one, we are not ending of her. We are initiating the new things. And shall be introducing the Botany Fest as a non-profit organization. We are the details of this we will sharing soon. Also, we are launching our magazine comprising of various activities like short stories, games, articles, recipes, fashion wear, defense wear, travel stories, jungle experiences, conservation stories, and much more. So, friends, we will be right back with season 2 in September 2020. So, with new guests, new hopes, new experiences, new learnings, and new thoughts. Once again, I'm thank you all, and I'm thank you all for coming to our show for this love and support. See you soon. Jai Hind.